Hi, I'm Aimee.
And I'm Marian.
And together we have decided that Natural Curiosity needs to take the dive into the ever-changing world of technology, which is a passion for both me and Marian.
Yes.
And we know that technology nowadays can be so overwhelming. We get asked questions all the time. So we decided to create tools, tips, and technology to help take that overwhelm away that we know all of you guys could be feeling from having to work from home. And so we're going to be providing you with different tools that are going to be great resources for you, tips that are going to help you out and to make it easier, and some awesome technology that is coming out soon. So you're not going to want to miss this conversation. So go ahead and dive in, hit that subscribe button and the bell so you get notified every time we upload a new tools, tips, and technology video.
And this is a conversation that we are all going to have together. So leave us comments, ask us questions, and let's do this together. Thanks, Aimee. Can't wait to see y'all.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. My name is Marian and my co-host Aimee, and today we're going to be talking about what, Aimee?
Websites, of course. Websites, because they are super important for business, sales, whatever. It is a perfect place to do it.
Yes. We want to know, where is your home on the web?
Yes.
Hey!
Hey!
Wow. Well, I'm really excited about today because so many people have different ideas. Back in the day, when the internet was new and people were building websites, that was your only place where you could call your home on the web. It was just a website. That was it. Remember those days?
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you?
No. I was going with you.
I knew it. So basically, what I'm trying to say is there are so many options, and I'm giving credit to the people who really dove into WordPress, because WordPress allowed people from all over the world to develop new technology that could be plugged in to the WordPress platform. So they allowed people sitting in their closet, in their basement, in their attic, it doesn't matter where they were. If they could write code, they could create an app or a plugin that would go into WordPress and make it do all kinds of things. So that's where it all started in my world.
Yeah. WordPress is difficult for me. I mean, I'm a huge fan of websites, but I could just never figure out WordPress, man. It was plug in this, do this. Oh, this isn't working. Why isn't it working? So they did pave the way, but it got overcomplicated, I feel like, pretty soon for WordPress. So.
Even WordPress was complicated because they had a free version and they had a version where you could pay for templates and plugins and things. So I think it was WordPress that really led us down the path of what are some alternatives. So let's talk a little bit about, we've got an audience member here saying something. Well, who is this? Let's see. WordPress is also open source, which makes it free to use. Oh, there you go. Thank you very much. Office in America, support team.
Nice.
Hey, you're watching us from Facebook. No, from YouTube.
Welcome.
Yes, that reminds me, we are on YouTube, we are on LinkedIn, we are on Facebook, and then we take the audio out and push it out to all the podcast platforms. So that's a cool thing. I really appreciate the fact that you're over there on YouTube watching us. Thank you. So, what is your first experience after you tried WordPress, Aimee?
I think I went at WordPress. I wasn't super dedicated to it. So I was a fickle WordPress fan. I only went at it for like an hour or two, and then I just was like, this is a hot mess. I'm going to find something easier for me. And so, I dabbled around in different ones just that were more user friendly for me. coding and stuff, and I know like the open source and everything is great, but I needed something that I could do relatively quickly and I could manage myself and not have to pay someone to help me, with WordPress, because that can get expensive. And when I was first starting up, I didn't have a whole lot of money. And so it was just like, I need to be able to do this myself, So my first experience, I guess, with WordPress, Marian, to answer your question, was an awful one. It was very awful for me. But, as some people love it, and, if you can figure it out, I'm all, for it. I couldn't wrap my head around the whole process of it. It was a lot for me.
It is a lot. And I'm going to kind of give you an idea. If you're not really sure what it is we're talking about, I'm going to kind of explain it from my perspective. Okay. This may be totally off from people who know what they're talking about, but from my perspective, WordPress is fantastic for people who can afford it. Even though it's free, you do need to, if you're not an expert, you need to hire somebody for the security. Okay. Now, big corporations, they use WordPress because they can hire people like Becky Earl that does the WordPress monitoring. Okay. She does monitoring. She keeps it safe and secure from the bad guys who are always trying to get in. Now, why are they trying to get into WordPress and not these other places? Well, it's because of the open source that she was talking about and the plugins that people from all over the world use to attach to your website. You can't just use WordPress by itself. It has to have plugins to make it do things. So people get in through those plugins. That's how the bad guys get in. So people monitor it, which costs money, right? Mm-hmm. So if you're really low on funds, you do not want to start out with WordPress unless you're an expert. That's my opinion. I could be wrong, but I don't think so.
No, I highly stand by your opinion and support it 100%, because that's true. I mean, there's a lot of other ones out there that are more affordable and that you can pick different levels of, I guess, I don't even know what it's called, but you can pick different tiers, I guess, and how you want your website to be instead of paying someone to monitor it, like you were saying. But then, it's complicated and it can be a pain. So that's when you may have to pay someone to help you set it up.
Thank you.
So
set it up, monitor it. Yes, all that. And we do have some audience members on Facebook. I can't tell who it is, but hi, whoever you are. And they said WordPress is a bit complicated and it can be a pain sometimes. Yeah. And then we have somebody else on Facebook who's saying, me.
Oh, it's Becky. Hey, Becky.
Oh, you can see her. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I went over on the Facebook.
Oh, good. Thank you.
I got so many tabs open, Marian. I got so many tabs open.
Oh, that's good. That's another reason why you should have a partner, right? We're going to talk about that. And Becky's waving hi, I see. So let's move on from WordPress. And the Becky that she's talking about is the Becky that does the WordPress monitoring that we were talking about. If you do have a WordPress and you're tired of it, she can handle all that stress for you.
Ooh,
she has
go
the tools.
Becky.
Yeah, she has the tools and the technology and the time to really dedicate her keeping you safe on the internet using WordPress. All right, what's the next one we want to talk about?
Well, Marian, let's dive into Wix. I am a huge fan of Wix, and it's just my go-to. When I create websites for clients, for myself, or other business avenues that I'm going down, my go-to is Wix, and it's pretty affordable. So the most expensive I've ever paid monthly for Wix, and this is with all the bells and whistles. I mean, I'm talking about with a manager of my newsletter built in there, sending out newsletters from there, monitoring my list. I have a subscription service, like an e-commerce subscription service, monitoring that, rebilling. I mean, the top level, right? I only pay $40 a month for that. That's it. And that's for, there's a lot more that goes with it.
Can you slow down on that a little bit? Because I know a lot of people are listening and they're going, Wix, what is Wix and what are you talking about?
Yes. So let me pull up the actual definition of Wix because I don't want to get in hot water. So,
like I did this morning already. I'm sweating. I'm like, oh, I'm going to have people coming after me about my, talking about WordPress is expensive and hard.
I know. I'm so sorry. Don't come after us. I promise. But no. Okay. So Wix is just a destination for you to create a website of your own, and they have templates that kind of help you go through the process of it, so it makes it a little bit easier instead of having to do all these plugins and figure out where things go. And the dashboard is very user friendly. So I'm going to pull up, I'll give you an inside look into it. So I'm going to,
I'll share your screen.
Yeah, so I'm going to show you my subscription website that I created, and then I'll take you to the back door so you can see everything and how easy it is to change things.
Okay, so we're going into Wix now, right?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
If it'll pull up. I
hope it will too.
I know, it's one of those things I have to have like a separate screen. Things get complicated, but yes. Okay. So I have it out. Let me hit the share. You gotta love technology. Sometimes it's picky. Okay. So here
we're not
seeing
it yet. Hold on a second here.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Yay! Okay.
Woo-hoo!
So this is, let me get over there. I have to not see you guys. So this is a Wix template website. Okay, so everything in here was a template. I could drag and drop this photo. I could edit this text, and it was already kind of overlaid. So it makes it super easy. And you can kind of tell, not so much that it's template based, but it's broken up into different blocks that I can drag and drop things. So here is a quick just glance of the whole website. And I'm going to, in a minute, I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I'm going to walk you through making edits on your Wix website and how easy it is. So let me pull that up. That's a separate screen. It's one of those. I gotta drag my screen over and then come back. Okay, so share. Yes.
Share your magic.
I know. Let me share it. Okay, if you'll pop that up, Marian. All right. Okay, so these are most of the websites I have, but I'm going to take you here, and you select an edit. And then it'll take you to a dashboard. And I found this dashboard to be a lot more user-friendly than WordPress, in my opinion. Because if I want to edit my site, I'm just going to hit this blue button, right here that says Edit Site. And then it's going to pull up all of it. And there is also an AI feature where it will pick colors and warm tones, light tones, whatever you want, and kind of build up a mock website that you just edit the wording and the photos. So that's one of the cool things of Wix. I mean, I could talk about Wix all day. I love Wix. I'm a huge advocate for them. More power to them. But now you're going to go into the design space, as I like to call it. And so it, has publish up here in the right, and it's got all your different pages that you can maneuver and go to. But look at this. So if I want to edit any part of this, I can select it, and then I'm going to hit edit. And it's going to pull it up right here on the left-hand side for me, and I can change anything that I want. I can change my image. I can change the title if I want to. I could even change the design of how it's set up. So if I don't want the main picture to be in the background, maybe I want it to be down below. I could change this, and it would change the whole layout for just this section. So it gives you more power and control where you can visually see it, but you can make all of these changes without having to go live. So I can leave my website the way that it is for everyone else to see it, and I can publish things behind the door, which I know you can also do in WordPress. But for me, in WordPress, it wasn't, I'm a very visual person. So I guess that's the best way to describe Wix for me. It's very visual. So you can see things as you're doing them live in time, what your website will look like. And it's very drag and drop and user friendly, which is what I like. I don't do complicated and over difficult because I want to be able, to create a website, in a couple of hours and make some minor tweaks here and there, and I can have it up and functioning. And then for me in WordPress, that wasn't possible. And Wix is very user friendly, because if you don't want to have if you don't mind having on the top where it says, Wix.com, and they put their ad over it, you can create a website for free. And, if you want to connect your domain to it, you have the option of buying it through them or going on your own and buying it. You can transfer websites to other people. I've created them in my own and transferred them to my client's Wix account, so then I'm no longer hosting it. So I feel like there's a lot more power in it, but it's more user.
Okay. Whoa. Whoa. Okay. So
okay.
Hold on now. So a plug for Aimee here. Did you just hear what she said? So you can give Aimee your colors and your ideas and your content, the wording. She can create it for you on her own website and then transfer it over to you, and you have a website. Bing, 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 boom, bam, boom. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
that is amazing.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So
that's really nice.
The website that you showed us is one of your businesses. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, yeah. So Book Lovers Delight is a book subscription box. So what it is we give you a new book in the YA or adult genre, anything kind of in between.
What's YA?
Young adult. Oh. So young adult, there's young adult fantasy, and then, there's steamy.
I'm not one of those.
It took me a while. I've been working with authors for a long time, and I was like, what is that? And they finally told me, and I felt, I was like, oh man, I should know that. But we give you a new book every month, and on top of that, you get extra goodies in the box. So this month, our theme was fantasy, because we have a fantasy humor book. And so with that, it's a perfect book to kind of sit down and read, and you're going to laugh out loud. And you have, you can have an adult beverage with you if you want, or you can just have, water, whatever you choose to drink. You're more than welcome to have with this book. It pairs perfectly with that. So we included in the box one of those can coolers. So if you, like to have a cold drink on a hot day in Texas, which who doesn't, this will keep your drink cold for 12 hours, or it'll keep it hot for 12 hours.
I love this idea. Oh my God, this is so awesome. And Becky's saying to you, she loves the YA books, Harry Potter, Hunger Games, etc. Yeah. So you mean like someone like Becky, or I could buy that as a gift for her?
Yeah, so you can buy it. Yeah, you can do one-time purchases and give it as a gift, and we mail them to it. And if you want a letter put in there, that it's from you, we can do that. If you want to subscribe, we do have monthly, 3 months or 6 months subscriptions that you can sign up for, and you're guaranteed to get all that. But you'll get other stuff in there. So like I said, you have the can cooler. We are doing the Pop It stress reliever things, because those are just, I love those, and they're super trendy right now. And then we have the author throw in some limited edition swag, as we like to call it, which is things that you can only get from the author that wrote the book. And so we have that. And then if they're indie published, and they can throw something else in there, or their publisher can put something else in there. Usually it's the rest of the series or whatever. And so we're bringing awareness towards these amazing indie and small press authors. And that's kind of what the box is focused around. Yeah.
Honestly, the reason why I stopped you and made you talk about it is because I didn't understand it. See, from someone like me who doesn't really, understand what it is. I mean, I know what a book is, but you kept saying a box or something, and I thought, what is it she's talking about? So you have to think about, explaining yourself to someone like me.
I'm not always very good at that. I can get, I can talk really fast and animated. Yeah. Words are hard today, Marian. Words are hard today.
Well, I'm kind of putting you on the spot,
It's okay. No, I can talk about anything. I'm good with it. I am not a shy person. But
what is the address? I want to put it up on the screen.
Oh, it is bookloversdelight.com. I can put it in the chat for you.
Oh, perfect. That would be even better. That would be even better. So that way everyone can see it, and we can direct traffic there, because someone like Becky, that would be the perfect gift. She loves books.
Oh, yeah.
To have it's a different one each time.
Yeah, it's a different book each time. So we've done a like thriller book of someone that writes very similar to Stephen King that actually kicked off our box. We've done some short stories, and now we have the humor fantasy, and then we're going to be coming up on a steamy romance here in September. So they're all kind of different and together, but all of the extra goodies that you get in the box kind of go with the theme of that box. So
all right, so you all go over to bookloversdelight.com and check it out. And Becky, expect that for your birthday.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday to you. Okay, good. All right, so what do we got on the? Are you finished with that, or should we continue on with something else?
Either one. I mean, that was just the one. If you have an e-commerce site, maybe your business is selling products, or you also do subscription businesses. That's probably the most expensive that you would pay monthly. And that's their top tier. So I can send out as many newsletters as I want, and they can be sales in them. I can have the e-commerce and it manages everything. But here's the greatest part. I can do it all on my phone. I can edit my website from their app. I can manage my subscription. So whenever I fill a box and there's a tracking number, I can put it on that person's account and it sends them an email with their tracking number. I can fulfill their order. I can edit the website on here. I can move money around in the account if I need to. It is the greatest thing. And so I get notifications whenever someone's on my site, where they're from, and I have the chat feature on there. And so I can communicate with them all from my phone. So there's no reason why anything should go unread or uncommunicated through the website with my potential new customers, right? And so I think that makes it great, is because there's no reason for any like non-communication to happen. You know, I don't have to log into an email to send it.
No
I can
idea.
do it from my phone.
Do you know I have 2 Wix sites and I didn't know any of this?
Yeah, it's awesome. I love it. I told you, I am Wix's biggest fan.
Oh, I see
that. It's great. Yeah. I mean, the power that it has, but it's all convenient. I mean, how many times do you guys check your email on your phone? Or do you browse a website because you see an ad on Facebook? So you click it and it takes you to the website, right? I get most of my traffic from mobile devices and not so much from desktop. So it should only be fitting that I can edit my website if I need to look better on a mobile if I want to do it, and I can do it from my mobile phone. Or if I want to do a desktop, it expands it so what a desktop would look like, and I have the power all from my phone, which is great because I'm not always by my computer, right?
I have a whole new perspective on Wix. Thank you so much.
You are welcome. Anytime.
Now, you also built our website on Wix. Will you take us over there and explain a little bit about how you decided on the colors and
Absolutely. You don't have to ask me twice. I will do it. Yes.
So
okay.
Aimee says, you want me to create the website? And I'm like, yeah. Oh, let me get rid of that thing there. Hold on. Okay. There we go.
Okay. So tools, tips, and technology. I helped build. Me and Marian are going through it together. So it's still in its editing phases, but it was so much fun. I know me and Marian are just lively, bubbly people. So the teals and the whites and the like darkish blue just seemed to really fit. It was warm and inviting, and it screamed technology to me. So that's kind of just what we went with. And, you know, it's a podcasting website, so it's going to have our latest episodes. And so the really cool thing about this website that I love so much is I can sync up our RSS feed. And so whenever we upload a new episode, you know, into Anchor or whatever, it automatically uploads onto the website. So it makes it new, it's staying up to date, and you can always catch us over here on our latest kind of avenues. And so that was cool for me because I didn't have to manually go and do it. I just popped in the RSS feed. It pulled everything. Every show that Natural Curiosity has ever done is on that podcasting tab. I mean, you could probably scroll forever and you would find every single thing that they have done. And so we still have some minor tweaks to do and everything, but it's just fun for me. And me and Marian like to have fun. And I was like, you know, this is what we need to do. And it's fitting for me. But I created this website. Marian, how long did it take me? I think it took me like 2 hours, and then I was ready for Marian to look at it. So it wasn't very long. So
I'm just blown away. Now, I will tell you. Oh, hi, there's Louise Dewey.
Hey!
Lady Lou, she loves our website. She said, "Well, thank you. Yes, I love the colors and everything." I will tell you that a lot of people bang me, especially in my mastermind, that I call stuff easy, because it's not easy for everybody, Aimee, and that's
Right,
why
it's not.
you are available to create it for us and then turn it over to us. And then do you give any training after you've created it so that we can manage it?
Yeah, so I actually do that, and you can get an hour and a half of my time each month if you need help, and you can break that up however you want, and I walk you through different things on how you can change it. And if you don't want to do that, then you can just pay me and I can make the changes for you. But you can ask Marian. I cannot guarantee that things will always be spelt right, okay? Because I had previous on there and it was pervious, and it looked funny to me, but I wasn't sure, because everybody knows when you look at a word, sometimes you're like, that just doesn't look right.
Thank God for spell check. That's all I gotta say. Okay?
Exactly.
I don't know what I would do without spell check. I wouldn't write anything, that's for sure.
Right. So you may have to, check it for words that aren't quite what you're wanting it to be. But other than that, I can knock them out pretty quickly. I mean, Marian, the tools, tips, and technology one didn't take me very long. The Book Lover's Delight, I had the Book Lover's Delight with the e-commerce site and everything I think that one took me 3 hours. And then an author website takes me about an hour and a half. As long as I have all of the content images that you're wanting, then it really doesn't take so long for me. But I've been doing Wix for years, so I'm very comfortable in it. And it's very comforting for me to do it. And I know my way around. I know different things that might look good, might not, especially based on what your business is. So that's why it doesn't take me long. But it took me years to get where I am.
I don't want to stop this conversation. So we're going to have part 2 next week. We're going to talk about Linktree, Patreon, Graphtreon, some other our alternatives to WordPress or a website. Okay, so I don't want you to have to hurry, Aimee. So I know you have at least one more you want to share with us.
Right? Yeah, I do. Let me pull it up. So I have an author site. So I don't know how many of you guys are authors thinking about becoming an author or anything like that, but let me show you.
I have a book coming out pretty soon.
Awesome. Okay, let me show you this website that I created. So that way you guys can kind of see what an author website has the potential to look like. It doesn't have to look like this. I created this one a couple years ago, but it's just the potential of what it could be. And you really kind of need an author website. I know there's Amazon pages and stuff, but there's
before
ones.
You show that to us, Aimee, we do have a question on YouTube. One question, please. Is there any reason to not have a presence on the web? And the answer to that is, what are you talking about?
I was like, no. There's not. I mean, it's like, I don't like to have my kids on because they're little, right? But all of my pages are public. My websites are up there. They have links, not to my home address, because I don't want people coming and visit me at home unless I know you. But I mean, there's precautions that you could take if you're really worried about security and stuff like that on the web to kind of prevent things like that could happen. But there's no reason not to.
Because, I'm thinking, because you work with authors so much.
I do.
Don't authors have, what do they call them, pen names or something?
They do.
You can have the same with the website, right? You don't have to have your personal stuff, right?
Yeah, you don't have to. You don't have to have it linked. I have created a website for a guy. I won't say his name because he writes under a pen name, but people know him as that pen name. And his whole website is tailored towards that and not anything about his real name or anything like that. So there's ways to get around things like that if you're interested in doing something like that. But in today's times and, society as a whole, most people are going to want to see some kind of footprint that you have, just to see you're like, if like say that you are wanting to do a speaking gig, right? They're going to want to see what else you have done, what your social media presence is, what your website looks like, what previous things that you have done, without having to ask you or look a whole lot on your resume. Because your like resume, they're going to be looking for certain things that they want to see, right? But then they're going to go and have someone look at your website and do all these things to see if you're a good fit. And if you don't have any of that, you could have missed opportunities out there because you don't have that footprint on the web.
I agree. And somebody on Facebook is saying, I think it's kind of gives someone or a business legitimacy, just her opinion or his opinion, whoever that is. And I agree. If somebody goes and looks for you, let's say you're doing a job for somebody. Let's say you're looking for anything, even a side gig. They're going to go and look you up on the internet. They're going to go and see, they're going to type into Google your name and maybe, you know, the city you live in and see what comes up. And so LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, they're going to look for you. And so if you don't have a positive experience on the web, a positive presence, then it's going to show up and maybe you might lose some work for it because
I mean, just in my experience, I get a ton of emails a day, and I know Marian and I know everybody else probably does too. But when I get a client that's inquiring to work with me, you know, a potential client, they want to see what other websites I've done, what other authors that I've worked with, what ranking they've gotten, right? If they want to do a book launch or whatever. And they want to know how long I've been in business, right? And so all that information you can find on my website. So I don't have to break it down in a really long worded email, which, you know, half the time, I don't know about you guys. I read my emails, but I mean, I make it 1 or 2 paragraphs and then I start skimming. Okay. If it's much longer than that, because it's just like, okay, this is long. So instead of doing that, I can direct them to the place that has all of that information. And so I don't have to copy and paste it. You know, it just is more convenient. But I mean, I have so many people ask me for things like that, which is like asking for my resume in a sense. It's just in an informal way. So
I have to share a story on Becky Earl, who you saw earlier. I don't know if she's still here. If you are, Becky, I'm talking about you today. So she does WP Site Monitor, WordPress Site Monitor. She monitors people's businesses. Okay. Now they have e-commerce. They have very good information on there. And if she were to go out and tell everybody she does that, if she were to have all of her clients on that website, they wouldn't be safe anymore. Because you know why? The bad guys would go, oh, really? You think you're not going to be hackable? Let me just drill down and poke on that one. So she never once put any of her clients up there for people to see because it's hidden because she didn't want anybody to know. So, we got some more audience. We're going over time because I'm telling you, we got lots of stuff to talk about here. This is good stuff.
That's all good.
Louise says technology can be scary for some of us, but with the two of you there to help us, it's a breeze. Oh, thanks, Louise.
Thank you. We hope that we can take the overwhelm and the scariness away. I mean, me and Marian have been there, and we like to dive in and learn new things and stuff so we can help you guys not be overwhelmed by it. We're taking the overwhelmness away from you guys and taking it on ourselves sometimes. But no, it's a lot of fun. But yeah, you should definitely have a web presence of some sort.
Yes. Thank you. Okay, so you were about to share with us a website.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, an author website. Okay, so he was cool with me sharing this. I asked him earlier.
Good.
Yeah, so this is author Anthony Harris. He writes all kinds of books, children's to historical fictions and to memoirs. And so this is just his website and how you can find it. So one-stop destination. So all of this right here, I can click and it takes me to Amazon to buy his book, but it also gives you the description of what that book is about. And he has many of them. I mean, I still have to upload some recent ones. But this is just an idea of what an author website can look like, right? He has documentaries based on him and his mother's life. And then, you know, his bio with all the photos that he wanted. And he wanted all of these up there. So you can change it. Yeah. So you can change it and do all kinds of stuff. But I mean, it makes it where you can contact him. It's a one-stop destination. It's not a website that goes necessarily, if I hit the different tabs at the top, it just takes me to a different section on that one whole strip instead of going to different pages, because that's what he wanted. So it's really a landing page for him that has all of his information. And that's similar to an Amazon author page, but an Amazon author page, you need to have a website also, because that is only on Amazon. And that's not going to be the only place that you place your books, because if you go with Ingram or somewhere else, then your books can be in Barnes and Nobles. You can sell your books personally. And so by sending them to the Amazon, they're only going to buy from Amazon. And if you're going to book fairs or Comic-Cons, if you're a Comic-Con person like I am, you want to have a website that draws people to it in case you run out of books and stuff like that. So there's a difference.
I'm going to show my ignorance. What's Comic-Con?
Oh, Comic-Cons. Okay, so I love them. I don't know, Marian, if you see my photos of Spider-Gwen in my spider outfit. But Comic-Cons is just where there's celebrities that do in like Marvel, fantasy, anime, kind of different realms. There's voiceover actors. They also have a literary track most of the time. And so they'll have writers, authors, screenwrites, and playwrights there. And you can listen to them talk. They give you advice. But it's similar to a trade show. So you also have a ton of vendors. And you have authors. You'll have a lightsaber, business. You'll have the 51st Legion, which is a Star Wars fan club. And they recreate different scenes and they build them. So you have different things like that. This is where you can go and let your nerd flag fly, and everyone loves it. But they're really good for authors that are like fantasy writers, romance writers, horror or mystery and thrillers. And so you can go, and people go there to buy books. You wouldn't think of it, but they do. And I am a huge nerd, and I go and I dress up as Spider-Gwen or Captain Marvel.
Cool.
And run around and take photos with people and little kids and have fun. It's a fun place to be. So it's just, I love it.
Oh, that's great. And somebody on Facebook is saying comics as an old-fashioned comics, Archie. Oh, my God.
Yes.
Archie. Do you remember Archie? Or you're probably too young to remember Archie, but that was like a really big comic book when we were young.
Yeah, like Marian, have you ever heard of Comic Palooza? Have you ever heard of that one?
I have, out of the corner of my mind, I think I've heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah. So Ron Perlman was there this year, who was in the movie like Hellboy, and then you'll have people from Game of Thrones and stuff. So you have a bunch of celebrities go, and you can listen to them talk on panels, and then you check out all of the other vendors and stuff that are there. So it's just a trade show in a sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that would be fun for me. I would like to go. Next time you're going to invite me, because I would like to go just to experience it, and I could take pictures of you with all kinds of people. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Absolutely. I will put you on my list to contact when I go.
Oh, good. Okay, good. Wow. Today has been so much fun for me. I've learned so much, and I'm really actually excited about Wix. Now, when I went to look for a website to use for tools, tips, and Natural Curiosity, I went with Wix because one of my clients couldn't afford a WordPress anymore. And that's weird to say, because you say it's free, but it's really not, okay? She couldn't afford it. So we moved her over to Wix, and I needed to learn it in order to build her website, right? So I didn't know you then. Otherwise, I would have said, here, Aimee, you do it. But I put my Natural Curiosity on there, and I'm telling you, I just did the bare minimum. So now, is it possible for me to go back and have you kind of revamp it so that it looks okay? So that it's got all the bells and whistles. Okay, good. So that's the last thing I'm going to say here today is if you want a website, or you already have a Wix website and you want to revamp it and have Aimee look at it, I know she's available. She's for hire, and she is good. And as you can tell, she's really kind. She's not going to be mean to you and make you feel bad, right?
No, I will be as nice as possible. I promise.
Excellent. Good. Well, we all have our things that we can do and that we love to do, and it sounds like she just loves Wix. So
love it.
I'm going to turn over my Natural Curiosity website to Aimee pretty soon as she gets some time to free up.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Aimee, for everything. I know you've got more. Next week, we're going to be going live again, same time, 10 o'clock. And we are going to be on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. And then for all of those people who listen to our podcast, we're on all the favorite podcast apps. And you can go to Tools, Tips, and Technology and just listen to them right there.
You can. Absolutely.
Thank you. I enjoyed today.
Oh, so did I. It was so much fun. I can go on tangents all day about Wix, and I can just get carried away. So I'm sorry it took up so much time, but it was so much fun for me.
I'm not sorry at all. All right. Until next week, people, I want to wish you a good time. Stay safe, stay dry, and stay out of the wind.
Yes.
I hear it's coming.
Oh, my goodness.
Bye for now.
Bye, everybody.